the thing that you sell. And it sounds like a lot, and it is, but you don't do it all at once. You just say, look, maybe you're busy, maybe you're full-time, maybe you got a family, and you find 30 minutes a day is what I say. What's the minimum I think you need to keep? 30 minutes a day. That's 3-4 hours a week. You could do it in 30-minute chunks, or you could do it all on a Saturday morning, or stay up late one night and do it in 4 hours or 3 hours. But chip away at starting your blog, starting your YouTube channel, figuring out who you're going to serve, what you're going to talk about, how you're going to help them, what are their pain points. And once you get in the rhythm of creating content, then you start to think about building a course. And that might take you a few weeks or months. There's no rush. But once you have it built, then it's built, and you don't need to build it ever again. And you can write the emails that will sell that. And once you've written them once, you never have to write them again. And so that's what I like about this model is, people are finding me right now while we're talking, Connie, on a YouTube video or a podcast that maybe I did 3 years ago. They're discovering it on their own free time, and then they're entering into my world, and they might buy a product of mine today or tomorrow or a week from now. And I didn't have to do any of it because I already built it once, and it's working for me in the back end. And that's the beauty of getting it built and then letting it ride.
And I like that because, it's funny when you see when you see those videos from 3-4 years ago, it's like, that was 3-4 years ago. Check out his hair. I know you get kidded about your hair along the way. He's got beautiful hair, you guys, but you got different looks along the way. And it's so funny because you can tell, just from the background as well, not just your hair. You have great hair. But it's funny how hair puts that little time on you, doesn't it? It lets people know when you did it and how times have changed. It's so funny. But one of the things that really impresses me is you give so much away. I'm like, what does he have to teach me in a course? Because he gives so much away. But then you go to the course, and then he's got all this other free stuff. You're like, man, this is right. This is the way to do it. Because once you make someone happy as well. So if you go back and you do the blueberry pie, and people buy your course, your how to bake, pies in general, and you'll have something about, let's do some gluten-free this week. Let's do some where we add buttermilk. Let's do, these different, let's add some herbs to this and change it. And let's add meat. And now the blueberry pie is no longer, now we're going into savory with it. But, these types of things, when you give so much, people want to come back. They can't wait for you to give another one. So it really is a contagious thing and a fun thing. So let's go to the lines. People want to talk with you and ask you some things. There, Graham, is that cool? You good with taking some calls?
Let's do it. Yeah, sounds fun.
All right. First-time caller. Ooh, a first-time caller and a first-time guest. Ian out of Pasadena, California. Ian, welcome to Coast, and say hi to Graham.
Graham, hello. Thanks so much for having me on, Connie. I'm a huge fan of the show and in general. I appreciate being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Graham, just I got to tell you, there are certain topics and certain subject matters that just kind of talk to you, and this one is a huge one for me because I just celebrated my 8th year on YouTube, creating content every single week for the last 8 years. So I've just come up on really close to 35,000 subscribers now. I pretty much do what I call high-quality foodie features on YouTube, and I've been doing it for that amount of time. I absolutely love it. High-quality value, production, everything. But I'm trying to figure out how I can try and take it to the next step. I do have a website. I do have a merch site as well. And I'm trying to figure out ways, the one thing that I can focus on to really kind of elevate it and take it to the next level, because everything that you're talking right now is literally, I'm like hailing my hands up in the air like I'm on a roller coaster because it's amazing to hear it. And Connie, especially you with everything you're doing as well. It's really eye-opening. And everything you're saying is true. There is income that can be made. I've been doing it for a bit now. I'm definitely proof of it. And obviously, Graham, you are as well. But I would love to know, and I love the whole circle of give, sell, overachieve, or over-deliver, I should say, and receive. But like I said, with my content, specifically food reviews, fast food reviews, I've created kind of a name online that way, but I'm trying to figure out how I can go even further with it and really kind of explode it out if I could.
And Graham, before you answer that, Ian, what is it? What's the YouTube site?
It's YouTube. It's youtube.com/peepthisout. P as in Paul, EEP, peep this out. Kind of like you're checking things out, but you're peeping it out, so to speak. It's a little green detective with a trench coat and a magnifying glass. And like I said, it's such a blast to do. live streaming on Friday nights at 8 p.m. typically as well. My birthday is actually tomorrow, so this is like the best gift I think I can have right now.
Happy birthday.
It's great for the subject matter. It's just very cosmic. Everything feels very cosmic, so I'm definitely digging it.
Excellent, excellent.
Well,
So,
Ian,
Graham?
Yeah,
Go
first
ahead.
of all, happy birthday. And then congratulations. To build a YouTube channel of 35,000 subscribers, you already done the hardest thing, which is to build an audience, have people that care about what you're doing, that tune into what you're doing. So that is certainly the hardest work, I think. I always say without an audience, nothing's possible, but with an audience, anything's possible. And so you're in a really great spot. So you said you sell merch. Do you have any kind of digital product, any courses already or memberships or anything like that?
Nothing like that at all. That's what I've always been kind of curious about, and my wife's been talking to me about this as well. There's got to be a way to kind of really illustrate it up. Now, for the skill set, I'm all self-taught with my editing, Final Cut, everything that you'll see on my site there. I've designed and I've learned it from the beginning up until now. And just like Connie said, imagine seeing yourself 3 years ago and what your hairstyle looked like. Oh my God, if I can go back in time, which I do once in a while, and look at those past videos, you have to start somewhere. You have to go trial by fire, and that's how you grow. That's how you learn. So just putting yourself out there and seeing that, it can become so much more. So that's what's really motivated me to do that. But it is a merch site, you know, all the usual stuff for shirts, hats, T-shirts, and all the fun stuff because I've created the brand. But at the same time, it's not knowing how to channel the next step up from that point. And that's the thing about it in terms of what could be like a digital product or something along the lines of, you know, like I said, high-quality foodie features includes mostly fast food reviews, but I do it in a way that's more dynamic because I went to school for broadcast journalism, and that's the edge that I have to try and showcase some talent that way because of learning that, you know, the processes. But it's a little bit different in terms of what I can do to implement that into something where it's feeling like I am giving value to my audience, which is something I love to do on live streaming especially, but there's got to be a way to kind of make it more organic. And that's the thing that I'm trying to figure, what's the one thing that I can try and focus on to elevate it and take it to the next level, because I'm ultra impressed by everything that I'm hearing already, and I can't wait to learn more.
Ian is going to have to just join your courses. That's what he's going to have to do.
Oh, man. Like,
Thanks, Ian.
the nuance with you, right, is you're not necessarily doing hard teaching, like educating how to do something necessarily. So, but for you, like, I would want to, if I'm in your shoes, I'd want to ask my audience, like, what do they want more of from you? And like, as you're creating content, I'm sure you are asking that and figuring out what kind of content they like, but your type of channel could crush with sort of the Patreon model, right, where people pay you sort of crowdfunding monthly or per episode to get exclusive access to different content that's not on YouTube. That model works somewhat like a membership site where it's like a fan club where they're just supporting you monthly for more exclusive content from you. Or if you can find out what these people have in common that like your videos, that you could teach them that's related to that. You could launch a course that would be a total surprise to them because it's not typically what they're engaging with, but what do they want more of? How could you help them go deeper in some area? But then you have to find out from them, like, if they want to learn something from you. They may not. They just might want the entertainment and then paying for more access to you and something behind a paywall, like a membership site or Patreon page. That kind of thing would be, like, I have friends that just do music videos on YouTube, and they make most of their living from Patreon because it's just sort of viewer supported, and that works well too. And you have the scale to do it with such a big audience.
There's so many different tools out there that people can use for free, and then there's upgrades along the way. But like YouTube now, you can do a paywall now with YouTube. You can have the membership site, which
YouTube, exactly.
If I would have known a long time ago I wanted it, and they didn't have it, so I ended up going another way. But you got to also stop and go, well, if they're going to take 30%, then again, they've got the entire platform for you, and it's all set up. Then you got the Patreon that goes on, and the TikTok, everything now. So we're going to talk a little bit more technical when we come back and ask him, Graham, how do we pull this off? How do we technically do this? That's where I'm always like, So more to come with Graham Cochran and online businesses and how you can, it's not too late. You can do it too and do it well. More to come here on Coast to Coast AM.
Well, it would be long, they would make
KFI News on the hour, on the half, and when it breaks.
I'm Brian Bruman from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. LA County Health Director Barbara Ferrer says the CDC has classified the county's COVID-19 transmission rate as high. But Ferrer says there have been some improvements on the case rate per 100,000 people.
Overall, we've seen a nearly 50% decrease from our peak of 204 cases per 100,000 people on August 19th.
Ferrer says the drop in cases is most likely due to mask requirements and a spike in vaccinations. A UCLA study says nearly half of all LGBTQ workers have experienced some type of discrimination at work. Researchers say an estimated 46% of LGBTQ employees have reported being fired, harassed, or passed over for jobs because of their sexual orientation or gender identity. Nearly 60% of people say the unfair treatment was motivated by religious beliefs. SoCal weather from KFI, clouds and fog, then sunny by the afternoon. Highs in the mid-70s to low 80s at the beaches, mid-90s to mid-100s in the Inland Valleys. We local from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Brian Bruman.
Fatal crash investigation in Chino on the westbound side of the 60 before Central has only the carpool lane open. You're jammed back to 4 Mountain Avenue. San Bernardino on the southbound 215 to 4 Palm Avenue. It's a crash there. Fatal crash investigations here as well. All lanes are shut down. You're backed up coming off of the 15 and Long Beach 710 northbound to the 91. This crash has had all lanes stopped. Looks like you're making some progress. There's also a stall in the backup just before Long Beach Boulevard. Overall delay start at Del Amo. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robert Subucky. Contractor license 1047-781.
Imagine running a marathon in the desert in the summer, and this marathon doesn't have a finish line. In this marathon, you run till you drop. It's called the Air Conditioner Marathon. In places like Minneapolis or Portland, or any of them other places where it don't get real hot, air conditioners can last 20 years or more. But down here where birds burst into flames in midair and fall down fully roasted from the skies, Zach, yeah, what are you doing? I'm helping people understand this ain't important. Here in the desert, air conditioners last about 11 years. But you don't have to spend money on a snowblower, or salt for that icy sidewalk, or windshield de-icer for your car. Zach, I don't think they need any of those things in Portland. Did I say Portland? I meant to say Minneapolis. A new AC from Kettle will keep your home cooler and use a lot less energy. So if you think your AC might be about ready to go to air conditioner heaven, call Kettle. GOETTL will keep you cool, but it's hard to spell.
If you own a business and pay payroll taxes for 5 or more employees, there's a new government program that will rebate you up to $20,000 cash per employee. Problem is, how do you get hold of that money? Does your accountant know about this? Probably not. This isn't what accountants do. But InnovationRefunds.com does do this. InnovationRefunds.com got me and my partner a 6-figure refund. They know what they're doing. Their CPAs know exactly how to access these tax rebates. They do all the legwork, no upfront costs, and what they do is simply share a percentage of the cash they get back for you. InnovationRefunds.com has helped over 6,000 businesses, including mine, get some $450 million back. Remember, up to $20,000 per employee. Go to InnovationRefunds.com, click on the Qualify Me button, answer a few questions. InnovationRefunds.com, no risk, pretty high reward. InnovationRefunds.com.
It's the word mattress stores can't stop shouting every Labor Day holiday. Sale! Sale!
Great, Dad, but what good is getting the lowest price on the wrong mattress?
So this Labor Day, come to Sick Sleep, where our exclusive bed match technology scientifically matches you for just the right mattress.
Save 50% on select mattresses, and with your good credit, pay 0% financing for 36 months.
So this Labor Day, don't settle for a low price on the wrong mattress.
Plus your sleep to Sit and Sleep.
20 years ago, we knew our world would never be the same. We vowed to never forget, and we never will. We've learned that 20 years can pass in the blink of an eye. We should never miss the opportunity to give a loved one, a friend, a neighbor, or maybe even just someone having a bad day an extra long hug. Let's just take a moment to reflect and remember September 11th, 2001. And then imagine what our world will be like in another 20 years. KFI, AM 640, more stimulating talk.
Always
to Connie Willis, call the wildcard line at 818-501-4109. The first-time caller line is 818-501-4721. To talk to Connie from east of the Rockies, call 800-825-5033. From west of the Rockies, toll-free, call 800-618-8255. This is Coast to Coast AM with your guest host, Connie Willis.
Welcome back to Coast AM. Connie here. Check out a free episode from George Norrie's online TV show, Beyond Belief with George Norrie. It is real. It will let you know exactly what you're missing that you were wanting to know about with Beyond Belief, where you're like, well, do I want to sign up? So if you're on the fence, free episode, that'll have you go, boom, I'm doing it. I'm going for it. All you have to do is just sign up for just 99 cents for the first month at beyondbelief.com, and then you can enjoy hours, I'm telling you, hours of really great past shows. And hey, you know what? I think you're going to like it. Stick around and see all the new ones that show up too. Beyond Belief with George Norrie. Learn more at coasttocoastam.com.
Hey, it's George Norrie, and chances are you're probably in your car right now, which means at some point you're going to have to fill up that gas tank, so why not get cash back when you do? The free Get Upside app does just that. It gives you cash back on every gallon you buy, and right now, if you use promo code George, you'll receive an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up, and that can be $5 or more back in your wallet. The Get Upside app is easy to use. Just claim the cashback offer at the gas station you want, pay with your card, check in, and boom, you're earning extra cash back for buying gas. So do yourself a favor. Download the Get Upside app now and use my promo code George to earn an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. Start earning cash back every time you fill up with Get Upside. And remember, promo code George. That's Get Upside, promo code George. Get Upside, promo code George.
We've got an incredible guest right now, Christine Rose. How did you become involved in holistic health and healing?
By being extremely ill and trying to find a solution. I was told I was dying with 3 months to live, and I wasn't going to give up. I was treated every day with carnivore, and it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. You don't really have to be very ill to have the benefits of carnivore. You cannot stop and say, oh, I had enough, I feel good. That is the wrong way. That's why I feel so fantastic, and I'm past 80.
Beautiful.
Carnivore will make all the difference in the world.
Call 866-836-8735. That's 866-836-8735. Or visit carnivora.com. That's carnivora.com.
Welcome back to Coast AM. Connie Willis here. Online businesses are what we're talking about. In fact, you can find me at mine at conniewillis.com. Go there. You'll see that I've got businesses myself. I'm starting to learn from Graham big time. I've been following him for quite a while, but now for a study, I got to take his course, and I'm trying to implement all that. So that's why you can see a free Bigfoot documentary. It's really good too, by the way. You're really going to like it. It's a day out in the Rockies with a couple named The Sasquatch Journey, and with, I don't know, it was like less than 8 hours. You're seeing what we saw, structures, all sorts of crazy things, the real deal, footprints, everything, and walking in 3 to 4 foot of snow and giving it to you, great stuff just happening like that. So ConnieWillis.com, again, an online business. So Graham Cochran is with us. Graham, thank you again for being here with us. It's certainly a pleasure. Tell people how they can find you.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go to grahamcochran.com, or jump on YouTube and type in Graham Cochran. Or if you listen to podcasts, The Graham Cochran Show and Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you like to listen to your shows.
I like it. So sometimes people, you can brand your, hey, we raise ponies and we wanted to, so it's called Raise a Pony. But you can also brand yourself as well and go that route. So there's so many different ways you can do it. Tell us technically, before we grab a whole bunch more phone calls here, Graham, tell us technically how to do this. That's where I'm always like, how do I know what I want to do. How do I do it? So you don't only just tell people what to do and the best strategies, but you also tell the tech, which is extremely important.
Yeah, I mean, that's the great news is the tech part of it has gotten so much easier than it ever was before, which is good news. I don't ever want to go back to 2009 when I started because I had to learn code things and looking at gibberish. I'm a musician at heart, so I'm just a creative. I'm not a technical person, but functionally, you need a website. You need a way to capture email addresses and be able to email your fans and your followers and contact them and market to them. And you need a place to be able to host your online courses or membership sites. And back in the day, you used to have to find different tools for all of that. These days, my absolute favorite tool for that is something called Kajabi, and Kajabi. It's a weird name, but it's an amazing tool that does all of that. It can host your website, it can build your products, it can send emails to your people, you can do live webinars on it, it collects payment, it does everything you need to do, even things you don't know you need to do, so you don't have to do it all, you can just get started, but they've made it drag and drop simple, and the great news is that it's accessible for if you're very visual and you're like, oh, well, I want that picture here, or I want to upload a video. It's pretty intuitive, and it's just accessible. There's a lot of companies that have now copied Kajabi and making these all-in-one solutions for people like us who are doing online businesses. So there's a lot of other options there too, but that's my favorite, and they're good people. I know the people at the company, and I just love what they're doing. So if you don't do anything online, if you're like, gosh, I'm not a technical person, you might have to get on YouTube and you search how to use Kajabi or how to build, a website. And guess what? There's people who are doing what I'm teaching you who have helpful videos for you. That if you just are willing to spend a little bit of time, you can figure out the basics. But the good news is you don't have to be a techie person. If you're smart enough to listen to this show, you can pull this off.
Of course, I'm doing this live streaming in the middle of freaking nowhere along the way. So I'm like, Elon Musk, hurry up, put all the satellites out there, hurry up, come on, dude. Yeah. We'll put you on Ghost all you want. Come on, let's go. We'll get George Norrie to take you in. So, one of the things you said that's extremely important that a lot of people are starting to hear differently, and I just want to shake them. Get a website. Still do a domain. Don't think that's old. Don't think that's old time and you just need to get an app or anything like that. No. The long-lasting tool to definitely get is a domain name, a web address. Do you agree?
I do, because here's the thing, real quick. You want to own your own business. The problem is, if you just build it on YouTube, we spoke with Ian briefly on the phone. He's got an amazing YouTube channel with 35,000 followers. That's incredible. Until, God forbid, YouTube, dries up or they shut it down or nobody cares about YouTube anymore. And I have two businesses on YouTube. But the thing is, you want to migrate people away from the platform they discovered you on to your own website, but really beyond that, your own email list. Because the stats show that people rarely change their email address, but they'll change whatever social media app is popular. That's going to continue to change. And there's so many gatekeepers, Facebook, they're making the rules for whether your people can see what you're posting or not, and all that stuff. So if you can get your own website and capture your own email addresses so you can be able to email your people directly, let them know about your latest podcast episode, or if you're coming to their town, or you wrote a book, or you've got a new course, whatever it is, That way you control the relationship and you can email your people directly.
How many people do you need in an email list to be successful?
So this is the crazy
Question
thing.
of the day.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. It depends on so many things. How many products you sell, what the price point is. I have a student in my mastermind, and she has an email list of only 250 people, and I would consider that very small. And she's doing over $20,000 a month. And she is a English pronunciation coach for native Japanese speakers.
Oh, my.
Talk about a niche. Not even teaching them how to speak English, how to better pronounce it for their careers. A lot of these are, executives who want to pronounce English better. So on that on the small side, but she sells very expensive coaching packages. But, I tell people you want to start building an audience, growing an email list, and no matter where you build your audience, grow an email list. And once you have 200 to 300 people on your list, I think it's a great size to start selling a product. But you're going to want to focus on just always growing that list every month so you have new people to hear about your product.
Yeah. What's our line number 2? Let's go back to the phones. Ron out of Lake Worth, Florida. Hey there, Ron. Welcome to Coast, and say hi to Graham.
Hey, Graham. Hey, Connie. How are you guys? This is phenomenal. I was hoping something like this would eventually make it to Coast. So this is really good. Graham, what are you doing for marketing?
Yeah, great question. You just teed me up. Thank you, brother. So I do what's called content marketing. So I don't pay for any traditional marketing. I don't run ads. I'm not paying for a billboard or mail out. But I use and view my content. So my weekly YouTube videos that I post, my podcast, my blog, I view that as my marketing. So people look up, how to build a home recording studio for that business or how to start an online business. I want to show up on YouTube or in a Google search just with a helpful article or a helpful video. And that's the way I generate leads. And so it's a slow way at first, but it doesn't cost any money and it can scale. And what I love about it is you build a lot of credibility and trust with people because they're not engaging with an ad. They're engaging with someone actually teaching you something for free and seeing if it's valuable.
Yeah, that's smart. That's pretty much what we're doing. COVID-19 has put a lot of people out of business. And what I have done is we have a network where, depending on, we're business oriented. So let's say if you're a small business, martial arts school, dance school, gymnastics school, yoga school, it really doesn't make a difference. If your business ends in the word school, then you can use our platform. And what we do is we give you so many ways of making money. What's interesting is that you could run, let's say you're a martial arts school, and you want to run you could run a tournament, you could run a fundraiser, a contest, a charity event. You can make money in all of these different things. And what people don't realize is that, if you're a school, you might have 300 students, 200 students. It doesn't make a difference. So basically, you're really an influencer. Okay, an influencer's job is to go ahead and get people to your product. That's what they're meant to do. Well, if you're a martial arts school, well, then you're the owner of the school. You can go in front of your client base, or in any school, dance school or yoga or whatever, and go in front of your client base and let them know that you want them to participate in a tournament or a contest or something like that. And then what we can do is we charge entry fees. Now, the entry fees to go into these events that this person, you as an owner, create, 100% belong to you. Okay, so if you have 100 people and, you're charging $20, you just made all of that money for that particular event. It goes directly into your PayPal account. So it's pretty interesting, because that's only one way of making money, either through tournaments, contests, fundraisers. You could also go up there if you're let's say you have a lot of content. Over the years, you've developed a lot of training content. You're at dance school. Well, then you can go ahead and rent your content to other schools to help them come up virtually. Okay, so they can run their virtual programs. You could also run online classes. So if you have students that want to go ahead and accelerate their learning, or they just want, we all know teachers and mentors that if we could train with those people, our life would be different. I live on the East Coast. Maybe there's people on the West Coast that I really like to train with. I can call them up, let them become a member of our network, and I can train with them on a daily basis. That's one of the things that our platform does. So
Ron,
now we'll bring it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Ron, just because there's a lot more people wanting to call. Tell me, what's your platform called?
Oh, it's Virtual Competitions with the S online.com.
I like it. Now, do you have a question for him before you go, though?
Yeah, no, I wanted to. We're in the process of doing all of these different things, and we have our own Zoom-like platform also. So a lot of the, people can go ahead and we call it Excalibur. Excalibur is our version of Zoom, and the owners go ahead and use these things. But Graham, I love what you're doing. That's the best. It's really good. Thanks, Ron.
Thanks, Ron.
Go
ahead, Graham.
And too that we do every Monday. I'm sorry.
Thanks, Ron. Thanks, Ron. I did too. But man, he's on the right track, doing all sorts of really great things with great ideas there.
I love it, man.
Teaching and different ideas of how to incorporate everybody. I think collaboration is huge. It's a huge thing. Let's go to wildcard line number 3. Gretchen out of Texas. From Texas. Gretchen, welcome to Coast. Hi.
Hi, Connie. Hi, Graham. I'm dying to see your Bigfoot. I'm talking about it right now.
Excellent.
Okay, Graham. I'm a travel agent. I'm a remote worker. I can go anywhere that's, in the world of Wi-Fi. And I have a website and I own my own domain. And I'm wondering, how do you do a blog and get it on your website? Oh, and I have found a really cool niche lately of solo travels. I belong to a lot of different travel clubs, and there are like hundreds of women that want to travel solo. So I just thought I'm gonna hit that niche, and you just inspired me to do blogs about it.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. I mean, yeah, that's a great example of a niche of there's a need, and you know that those people, you probably know what they're thinking about, what they're frustrated with, what they're looking for online, and how to talk to them. So, it's your question about a blog. I mean, what platform do you use for your website?
It's GoDaddy.
Okay. So, did you build it through GoDaddy's website builder?
Yeah, I did it myself.
Okay, yeah. So I know that they have a website builder, and I would assume you can do blog posts on it built in. If not, there's a tool called WordPress, which is one of the oldest and most well-known for blogging, and you can link it to your site. It could be, you could have a new, link on the top of your website that says blog, and that could link to your WordPress blog if you needed to there. I tell you what, though, if you feel like you could, get on camera, even on your phone, and talk to the camera and talk about traveling solo and talking about problems or tips or strategies or credit card rewards or whatever it would be, I mean, I would say get on YouTube and start posting videos there. You can link to them on your website as well, but a lot of people are looking for travel tips there.
Good luck, Gretchen. That's great. Thank you so much. That's what a great niche that is. That's true. There's a lot of women. I can name 5 right now that just want to go solo. So, wow. If I can name 5 that quickly, right? And one of the things you also talk about is, hey, maybe you don't want to put your face on camera. Maybe you don't want to have to deal with, I got to do hair and makeup and I got to look good. That you can use slides, or you can just talk it, or you can just do a podcast with, different pictures and things like that. And that's a great option too.
Oh my gosh, one of the biggest YouTube channels that I follow is called Star Wars Theory. I love Star Wars. And the guy's got over 3 million subscribers right now. But for the first 2 or 3 years of his YouTube channel, where he already had over 1 million subscribers, we've never seen his face. He never showed himself. It was always clips of the movies or stills of the movies, and you could hear him talking and narrating the video, but we didn't even know what the guy looked like for years. And the guy had amassed this massive following. It just goes to show it's not really you they care about, which is kind of demoralizing, but it's also freeing because they don't care about you. They care about their own problems or their own needs or desires. And so if you could solve those problems or help them or teach them or point them in the right direction, they don't need to see your face if you don't want to show it. And you can even do videos without showing your face, but certainly podcasting or blogging is a great option if you don't want to get on camera or deal with any of that.
That's like today's ghostwriter. You don't have to admit who you are. You can just kind of do it. That's kind of very freeing as well. No one knows it's you. It's kind of cool. The little tricks of the trade. So we're talking with Graham. Now, Graham, we got more people hanging out here wanting to chat with you. Can you stick around? Would you mind sticking around with us for a little bit longer?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's keep talking. I love it.
All right. Yay! Graham Cochran with us, business coach, YouTuber, host of Graham Cochran Show podcast, and also the Recording Revolution, and more and more and more. Stay with us. Connie Willis here, Online Businesses, and it's not too late for you. Coast to Coast AM.
2, 3, away! Burning down the house. And the picture that you like, that's what you control the moment.
Owning a business comes with pressure. There's a limit to what I can do and still keep employees engaged. Fortunately, there's Insperity. They put 30-plus years of HR experience to work to help me with hiring, training, HR administration, and compliance, while giving my employees competitive benefit options. And because I'm able to focus on other priorities, my employees can thrive and my business can grow. With Insperity, nothing seems impossible. Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
Hey, it's Dean Sharp. I am so proud that since Duffy Power came to KFI, lots of homes like yours now have emergency backup power. It's an incredibly smart and affordable thing to do. Okay, but the pandemic has everything in short supply, so right now, my best generator advice is don't wait. Call Duffy today so they can make sure your life won't be interrupted during the next outage. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say Duffy Power, pound 250 Duffy Power, or find them on the web at duffypower.com.
There's a lot of misinformation out there, and none of it is allowed here.
So you know what I would do when I went around and they asked me to talk to college students?
I said, be prepared to never have a job in law.
Because it is so tough to get law jobs.
And that was at a time when it was far easier, and I said, you'll never get a job. Today it is crazy. Bill Handel, mornings from 6 to 10 on KFI. Fires will be more fiery. Droughts will be droutier.
Droutier.
Yeah.
Where can I look that one?
Yeah.
Oh, it's new. Handel made the word this year.
Floods will be floodier. Tornadoes will be...
Tornado-ier?
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds kind of stupid.
Oh,